Hi, I wanted to record a video on how to optimize your LinkedIn profile, as it's something I am asked of quite a lot. Before you get started, it's really important that you update all your privacy settings so your network isn't notified every time you make some tweaks. So go to the circle, go to the Me, go down to Settings and Privacy, Visibility, and go to Share Profile Updates with your network. Make sure that is off. Whilst you are in this section, make sure that you are happy with everything else as well. It's really important that anybody on LinkedIn can see you, and they can also see your photos. So go to account preferences, because some people have it set to only connections can see their photos, but if a hiring manager or recruiter is looking for you, they're not going to be connected to you, and you need to make sure that they can see your photo as well as the whole of your LinkedIn profile. So make sure that showing profile photos is all LinkedIn members. So going back to the top. Right, so starting at the top, unless you've done it, you will have numbers after your name on your LinkedIn URL. You need to take those off to make sure it's nice and clean if you're putting it onto your CV or resume, or if you're sharing it with other people just in an email or in a connection request on LinkedIn. So go to public profile URL, the pencil, take off edit your custom URL, click on that, and then take off the numbers. It might be that somebody already has your name, so what you can do, so I could do Jenny Butter -coach or Jenny Butter Coach, something that just looks nicer than the numbers and identifies you as you. Whilst you are in this section, this is what your public profile setting looks like. So you can keep looking at this so you know what everybody is seeing about you on LinkedIn. And so just make sure that all of these are on as well. There is a move on LinkedIn for people to have a header photo here. That's because LinkedIn is all about your personal branding. It is your online CV, basically. It's important that you position yourself in the right way. There are some free photo sites where you can get some photos to put there. So Unsplash is one of them, unsplash.com, or pexels.com is another one. It's better not to have one than to have one that doesn't quite work. And if you are a career changer, you need to brand yourself into the career change direction. So I work a lot with career changes into data analytics, into UX, into tech roles, into software engineering. And so I say, if that's something that you are going to be transitioning into, put maybe coding here, or put some post-it notes or some designs. No matter your background, put something that brands you in the right way. Profile photo is so important on LinkedIn. So make sure it is professional looking. It doesn't have to be professionally taken, but not you in a wedding dress or with a cap or with sunglasses. Show whites of your eyes and smile. It is your online presence, and you need to look friendly and approachable that somebody wants to work with. Now, I've also worked with quite a lot of Muslim women, and some, for religious reasons, don't like to have photos there. So what I say instead, put an avatar there, which sums up a bit about your personality. And I've spoken to hiring managers and recruiters, and they agree with me on that. It's better to have something, an avatar, than nothing, because they say that they do use it to shortlist. The next thing is your name. As you can see, I have my maiden name in brackets because I used that when I worked in radio. You can also have your pronouns there, and you can have pronunciation as well to make sure people know how to pronounce your name. I work a lot with people moving into the UK who are looking for sponsored positions, and I've noticed that sometimes people's names on their CVs, their LinkedIn profiles and portfolios can be different. It's really important when you are applying for jobs that it's consistent. So your LinkedIn name here is the same as the name that you have on your CV and your portfolio. Let's move down to job titles now. I would suggest putting 3, 4, 5 different job titles that you want to be found for by recruiters on LinkedIn. And for some reason, I've been told that the pipe here, the downward, LinkedIn algorithm prefers the pipe in its searches. So put job titles with a pipe. So say you're in sales, you might want to have business development, sales manager, different job titles, because sometimes companies use different job titles for the same job, and put that with the pipe in between. And should you choose to, you can also put a tagline at the bottom as well. Location-wise, put the location where you want to work, not where you want to live. So say you live in a village outside of London, but you want to work in London, put Greater London. Contact information. You don't have to have your phone number. I do because I'm a consultant, but do put your email address so it is easier for people to reach out to you. Then you can put yourself open to recruiters, which means that recruiters can find you and companies don't know you're looking, or open to everybody. That's the banner that goes around it. Now, LinkedIn introduced the open to work banner during COVID because they wanted people who had been put on furlough, been made redundant, to have as much opportunity as getting work as possible. Now, at that time, they were collating statistics, and it was considerably higher people were reached out to if they had that open to work banner. Now, I've done lots of research and I can't find any updates since, but I don't think there's anything bad about saying open to work. I think if you're open to work, let everybody know about it. Some people are a bit embarrassed. And if you are, well, then why don't you do A/B testing? Have a month with recruiters only and a month with open to work. Make sure you say all the different types of works that you want to be applying for, immediately or flexible. And that's where you can put on-site hybrid and job titles as well that you want to be found for. Okay, moving down. Now, it's really good if you can add yourself a featured section. So if you are in a profession that has a portfolio, or if you want to highlight something, I have my podcast there, add in a featured section. The next section, the about section, is really, really, really important because this is what people read about you. Now, bearing in mind, they scan read it. So it's got to grab attention. So if you have a lot of text, make sure it's split up into sections. On one level, you do want to use as many, you do want to share as much information about you as possible, but you don't want it to be too onerous to read. So highlights of who you are and what you bring. LinkedIn is a lot more relaxed than CVs. CVs are third person. It's somebody looking on at you, whereas LinkedIn is a lot more relaxed and has I. And also at the bottom, there is a move sometimes to put a bit about your personality as well, something that you might want to share. And especially if you're in tech and the startup world, they do like to know more about you. So some people I work with say that they're dog lovers. Down the bottom, you can see that I've put about the fact I've lived in lots of different countries. It's up to you, is what you want to say about yourself, but do let people know a bit about who you are and definitely about what you bring. This section here is all about your impact, the impact that you bring to a business, to an organization. For me, it's the impact that I can have in clients' lives. So work really hard on this section to make sure it is the best of you. Look at other profiles, look what other people say about themselves. Remember that yours needs to be better than theirs, going above and beyond. And you can always talk to me, reach out to me if you do want me to help you with your personal branding, and especially this about section. And at the bottom, I do recommend putting specialities with pipes in between as well, just to bring more keywords into your profile. Coming down to work experience. Now, an important point I need to share is that once again, LinkedIn algorithms favor people who have a current job. So if your past position has finished, make sure you create yourself a new work experience section that says the title of the job that you're interested in, and then you can put the location, and underneath you can say open to opportunities in these types of roles If you have a UK work visa or a work visa, you must say you have a work visa if you don't have a right to work in the country. And in fact, you might also want to put that at the bottom of your about section as well, just to make it clear that you don't require sponsorship. So the job title, maybe the industry, and then say open to opportunities, full-time, part-time contract work, recently relocated, have a work visa, if that's something that you need to communicate. Now, also on LinkedIn as well, you can now put top skills that you are known for in each of your roles. And that is a good thing for you to be putting in each of your roles. And it's a good idea as well to maybe put a bit of impact that you've brought, some key metrics here, things that you want employers to see about you that you can do in roles if you're working for them. Education. There is a move to take graduation dates off education to stop ageism, but that's entirely up to you should you want to do that. And make sure that you do put all your professional development on there as well, so people can see how you do keep up to date with your learning. Licenses and certifications, volunteering, skills. Now you can have up to 50 skills on your LinkedIn profile, and I would recommend having them all. When you apply for jobs, you might sometimes see that you have like 7 out of 10 a skill match. So you might want to be editing these. So example, if you've worked in a job that uses Airtable and you are applying for a job that wants Airtable as a key skill, add it in if it isn't already there and take one out that's no longer relevant. And recommendations are absolutely key. So you need recommendations to get what used to be called an all-star profile on LinkedIn. And that means, once again, that you get to the top of searches. So reach out to people. It can be a boss, it can be a colleague, it can be somebody for character reference, and make sure that you do have some up-to-date recommendations on your LinkedIn profile. If they're 5 years old, get some recent ones as well. And then when you are applying for jobs, make sure that you are following the companies that you want to apply for, and then make sure that you join lots of relevant groups as well. The reason being, it costs, I think it's around £30 a day to advertise on LinkedIn. That stat might be wrong. To advertise jobs. And so smaller companies might not want to pay that, or with the cost of living crisis in the UK, some companies might want to pay that. And so hiring managers will actually advertise jobs. They'll just say, we're hiring somebody. If you're interested, message me. And so if you're in those groups, those jobs will come up on your feed.